Good morning. This is Jim Rodriguez, and I wanted to know, is anybody else on the call right now? I see we have one attendee. So just to remind you, if you need to or want to join in so that you can call in and converse, go to the Event Info tab at the top of your screen, and you'll see the call-in information. You can follow the directions for calling in so that we can all talk. If you have any questions and you can't, for whatever reason, join in by phone, there's the chat feature that you can click on at the top right-hand of your screen and chat any questions or thoughts. So I'll just wait for folks to join on by phone. Hello, is anyone on the line? Hello. Hello, anyone on the call?
Hello?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Who's that?
Hi, this is Jennifer Anderson.
Hi, Jennifer. Welcome.
Thank you.
Jennifer, remind me, what agency are you with again?
CPC, State Treatment.
Okay. So I know there's someone else who is logged into the webinar. I'm not sure if they're having difficulties getting on the call, but I'm just going to wait another couple of minutes here to see if anyone else joins. We have a few more people registered for the call, and I want to just give them a chance to join before we get started. So just a couple more minutes.
Okay.
On now. Yeah, now. Yeah, now.
Good morning.
Yeah,
Good,
now.
good morning.
Yeah.
Good morning, Jim. Good morning, Jim. Good morning, Jim.
Good morning. Morning.
Let me get this. Why is it doing that? Should I lower this?
Are you hearing anything? And I have to remember, we have dialing. Shut that.
Hello, Jim.
Yeah.
Hi, this is Julie and Roseanne. How are you?
Good.
Great. We're here.
Okay. Let me get back
Lydia
over
will be
here.
joining us in a minute.
Okay. And remind me once again, what agency are y'all with?
We are with Dutchess County Mental Health America.
Got it. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
And we're the Teen Challenge and the Young Adult Program. Lydia's joining us. Morning.
Morning.
Finally got it. We were hearing it.
Okay.
Funny.
And okay, so let's get started. There may be others joining us as we go along, but I want to get started quickly, and then we can fill in folks as they join. Thank you for joining the call and the webinar. So, you know, our agenda is pretty much the same as always. You know, I just want to get status updates on how things are going with the implementation of KEY and find out how the groups are going. I want to spend a little time talking about the performance indicators as we approach the end of the project. I mean, we really only have a couple of more months here for the formal sort of end of the project, but I do realize that some sites may be continuing, and you know, we could figure out ways of staying in contact beyond November. So I'll go over that as well. So just to begin, let's go ahead and get, actually remind me again your roles. So Roseanne, what's your role there again at Dutchess County? Are you facilitator?
Yes, the program specialist for the Young Adults and Teen Challenge.
Okay. And Julie?
Yep, I supervise the program. I'm a program manager. Okay, and then we have Lydia here as well.
Okay.
She is the director. Roseanne is brand new. She started last week, and so she is just coming on and getting her feet wet and beginning programming next week.
Okay. Great. And Lydia's role?
I'm the director of the department.
Got it. Okay. And Julie, you're running the show there, right?
No, not quite. I oversee the program specialist, along with two assistants. They actually do the direct care. They facilitate, the program specialist facilitates the lessons with the assistance of two other staff. We did have a gap. Last time we spoke, I mentioned that Sabrina was no longer with us, and we had a gap for a good month or so. So since our last conversation, Jim, we have not had any groups, but we're resuming on Tuesday and Wednesday of next week.
Okay. Okay, great. And then you'll have new, well, not new facilitators, right? Because Sabrina was co-facilitating with someone else?
Yeah, we actually have, for Teen Challenge, we still have one staff that was trained originally, which is Sean Forte. And the other two staff are new. We have Roseanne, and we also have a second assistant coming on probably on Monday, so he'll be brand new as well. And then in our young adult group, it'll be all new staff.
Okay. So you'll have 2 groups going.
Yes, we'll continue.
And both of them will be starting at the same time.
Yep,
and how many in each group?
Well, currently we have only 7 members in our Teen Challenge group, and we have about a dozen members in our young adult group. So we're hoping that all of them will return, and we're pretty confident that they will. And
remind me again where they left off in terms of the curriculum?
They left off on, let's see, they finished Healthy Relationships.
It was lesson 9.
Lesson 9. Okay, Roseanne just reminded me. It's lesson 9.
Okay, for both groups.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so.
And Jennifer, remind me again where you guys are at in terms of the curriculum and the number of kids in the group.
Well, we just started a new group because with being a day treatment program, we did it last year. We started in April, and we did about 7 sessions, but we kind of picked and chose. And then over our summer school session, which is only 6 weeks, we did another kind of short pick and choose group. And so this year we're starting off at the very beginning and going to do the whole thing. So we just started yesterday with our first lesson.
Okay, great. So you've kind of been again, I think you use the term piloting in some ways, and now you are going to be having this group, and that again is your day treatment.
Yes.
Okay. And how many young people are in the group again?
I have 9 people in my group.
Great. All right. And you're just at the beginning also.
Yes.
Okay.
And I think I had 2 of those people were here last year, but everybody else has either moved on to different placements or graduated.
Okay. So at this point, for y'all, any challenges or any stories you want to share or anecdotes you want to share at this point, either about how the recruitment process is going, how the restart is going, in your case, how things are going in general. Well, let's start with MHA. Anything that you want to share that you think is particularly significant?
Jim, we've been off for about a month because of the staffing issues. We have lost a number of staff all at once, and we've been scrambling to fill in the gaps. So we're just getting going again. So wherever we were the last time we spoke, which was the 25th of August, that's where we still are.
Okay.
So,
well, no, and I guess right, and I know you mentioned that. I guess what I might be referring is just in terms of, have you had any contacts with the young people? Have you had any kind of experience with them where they've expressed sort of, wanting the groups to start again or anything like that? Or again, it may just be that nothing's going on until you get the group started again. But again, just anything you might want to share.
There's been contacts with phone contacts and letters with our young adults, with them in particular, and then with the teens, we've spoke with parents and have spoken with the young people, and what we're hearing from them is that they're missing the group, that they are looking forward to coming back to the group. And so we're excited in that. So when we resume on Tuesday and Wednesday, we're going to do some icebreakers, some getting to know you. Roseanne is going to summarize what what she's been reading and what her and I have been talking about, what the groups have been doing in the past, and then just get remotivated and charged up to begin lesson 10. So we're hoping to get, just kind of have a kickoff. We were planning on having maybe some pizza, some refreshments and just get started. And then also in regards to recruitment, we do have young people in both groups on a waiting list. We have probably 3 people on our young adult waiting list right now, and we have probably 4 or 5 on our teen list. So we will be probably, after maybe 2 or 3 weeks, we'll be contacting maybe a couple of more young people to bring them into our groups.
Great.
All right, so we'll get off to a good start.
Yeah. And Roseanne, you're going to be new to the group.
Yeah, totally.
Okay. Well, and just a suggestion, I think, sometimes it's good when even if it's a new facilitator, to kind of have kids maybe share a little bit of like what they've learned or what they remember from when the groups are going on with Roseanne to kind of bring her up to speed. Kind of a good way of reviewing things, but also to get Roseanne in to become part of the group.
Exactly.
Cool.
And we did discuss that, and doing
Great.
it in maybe kind of a fun way for the kids, just to get them recharged again. Yeah, and to discuss, because oftentimes, and Roseanne and I were talking about this yesterday. We'll ask, well, what did you learn? And they might say, well, I don't know. And then just kind of jarring their memory just a little
Yes.
bit, and the conversations then begin, and one person will say something, will spark another person to add in, and so on and so forth. So we'll start there and make it fun for them, and then we can get into it again. So
Good. And just out of curiosity, I mean, any thoughts? I mean, I know that you had someone leave.
Yes.
Someone new coming in, and so I'm just wondering if you anticipate that there's any sort of issues around the person who left and having that discussion.
Yeah, I think certainly there was a lot of sadness around the staff leaving, but the kids are really resilient, and it's not the first time that they've had a change in staff. With our groups, the teens can be in our group from 14 all the way, through their 18th birthday, and so we've had kids with us for 3-4 years. So they've been through the process of staff leaving and new staff coming in. So they tend to handle it pretty well, and they're usually pretty welcoming to the new staff. And also, we'll try to keep in touch. Specifically with Barrington, the kids were interested, I believe, in keeping in touch. He went off to grad school, and so I thought possibly to get a card, and they could all sign it, and we can send it off to him. And that'll be a little bit of a connection, and it'll be kind of nice if he even wrote back, and he said he would. So that'll be really great for them to see him moving on in his life and, going toward, his goals and working toward them and all. Right. So hopefully,
yeah.
Hopefully it'll be.
So it sounds like you've made plans for transitioning and processing some of that. So that's great.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's also nice to hear that you're getting, sort of, it sounds like positive responses about the group starting again and the young people looking forward to it. So so that sounds really promising too. Great. Jennifer, again, I know you're getting ready to get things going, but and let's see. Yeah. Anything that you want to share about any aspects of the sort of getting the group started, and anything you've heard from young people?
Like I've said before, even just doing our little pilot program last year, we had, we had good responses from students about the program, and, I think having kind of a structured curriculum to follow was helpful for them, as well as, I think the students do really like the goal setting and being able to, you know, come back and comment on the goals. So, you know, we're optimistic that this group is going to go kind of like our pilot program.
Great. All right. So, and so as I said, we can maintain contact. I will be, I guess, in the October call. You'll have maybe a little bit more to share about how the groups are going, how the young people are responding to the groups. So, you know, we'll talk a little bit more on the next call about that. And again, I'm just reminding folks, I think we touched on this on the last call as well, about some of the resources that are available at the KEY website if you want ideas of activities that others have done throughout to things that we have added or modifications they've made. They're there on the KEY website, and for the KEY website, under the mid-project webinar, again, the sites who shared on that mid-project webinar in July, some of the activities that are there. So if you want some ideas of other things that folks have done, let me know, or again, look at the website.
Great, thank you.
So just a couple of things as you get going. As I said, we're moving towards the end of the formal project, our formal timeline. And so towards the end of October, or at the end of October, we'll be asking for some data, the performance indicators that we've talked about. So, you know, one is the attendance. So keep tracking the attendance of the young people. And again, even if it's just for the couple of weeks that you have between now and the end of October, that would be great to just see, you know, how well kids are attending up till that point. Any kids who may stop coming or drop out of the group, you know, you can fill out the discontinuation forms that gives us an idea of why. If you can encourage them to finish complete the helpfulness scales and the personal progress checklists, those are in the appendix. The helpfulness scale is just a lesson-by-lesson, their lesson-by-lesson response to each of the sessions, and then the personal progress checklist. And as I said the last time, we talked about this, so, and I promise this is the last thing we'll add, and it's open, but the future orientation scale I think we talked about last time we were on the call. So that's the scale that we're hoping to give young people at the end of their participation in the program. I think because you're getting just started, we could hold off on that. And I think for you all, because again, these are two, well, for MHA, actually, you may consider it. I think by the end of October, you will have had, presumably, right, 3 or 4 or maybe 5 more sessions. So
sure.
You'll be further along on the curriculum.
Yes.
And the future orientation scale, if you can give it by then, that would be great. So, and again, even though it might not be the very end, I think it's towards the end, so we're fine with taking it at the end of October as a measure of, again, their future orientation and how well they're kind of thinking about the future and how much they're thinking about the future. So do you think that's possible? I know we talked about it last time.
Are those measures and metrics on the website?
Yes. So on the website, the measures on the website, and then also there's an article about the development of it on the website as well.
Thanks.
And you could take a look at it, and you can make decisions. So as far as the scale goes, you know, it's again, as I mentioned, it's going to be a simple outcome measure that we're going to use, one point in time only, a post only. And again, it wasn't developed for a clinical sample. And again, you could take a look at it, and if you feel clinically, for whatever reason, it's not appropriate, you can decide not to use it. But we're going to try to get it on as many kids as we can. And then one other thing that we're adding, now let me ask you, when you do the workbooks, are you allowing the young people to take it with them? Are you keeping the workbooks and holding on to them from week to week?
For MHA, we are keeping them. We just think that's a better idea from past history with workbooks. Okay.
So this is the deal. One, we've been consulting. I think I've mentioned to folks on the calls before that there really is a lot of interest. The National Council of Behavioral Health, it's a national sort of group of behavioral health agencies, are interested in looking at KEY. So we're trying, as I said, the future orientation scale was something that we wanted to add to try to get some additional information from kids as one outcome measure. The other thing, so we kind of consulted with a researcher who's done a lot of evaluation research, and the other thing he suggested was to do workbook reviews. And basically what he said was that we should take a look at the workbooks and see to what degree are the young people in the program using it, whether it be filling out the action plans or completing the self-assessments that we have sprinkled throughout, or any of the checklists that we have and things like that. Just as a simple measure, and again, no pressure. We certainly don't want you or the young people to feel pressured. In fact, I believe at the trainings, I know at the trainings, we really de-emphasize the notion of, forcing or making the young people feel obligated to fill out the workbooks. So we realize that's the background, but we thought that the idea of doing workbook reviews is a good one to get some additional information on, again, to what degree are young people actually using it. So one of the things that we're planning, and this is, again, going to be in part a logistical issue because, we don't know if you're collecting them and holding on to them, and also in part an issue of sort of some confidentiality and privacy, but that what we thought we could do is, if sites were okay with it, we would go, and again, it could be in between groups, just quickly visit the sites. We won't bring them here. We'll just go to the sites. If you have them, we'll find a spot and just quickly look through and breeze through. We're going to come up with a checklist, a very simple checklist to look at what young people are doing and how much they're completing on it, and kind of just a quick review of the workbooks. And so again, that would be, we'll figure out a day and time when we can come out and do it, when it would be appropriate and when it would be convenient to do it. But we thought it would be useful to take a look at that. And of course, and again, we don't want to put the burden on you all to do it, obviously, that would be, but we could come out to the sites and make that happen. So I just want to get your thoughts on that. Does it make sense? Do you think it's going to be doable? Do you have any concerns?
My only concern, Jim, this is Lydia, just make sure we have plenty of lead time so we can plan for you. It's fall.
Absolutely. Yeah.
All kinds of things happening in the fall.
Right, and that's fine. And I think we can coordinate that. If you're okay with doing it, we'll work around your schedule. We'll figure out a time that's convenient for you all, and we'll try to, again, sort of make it as simple, easy, and seamless as possible.
Hey, Jim, this is Pedersen Craig here. I don't think we have any. Yep, sorry, we got on the call a little bit late, but we're here now.
Welcome.
Thank you. I don't think there's any concerns about the logistics of looking at the workbook reviews, but it sounds like from some of the people running the groups themselves that there is limited interest in the workbooks from the youth.
You know what, and again, that's okay. That's okay. I mean, and what I would say is, I mean, if you all feel like it would be a useless exercise for us because they haven't done anything, we'll definitely, hear that and go with that. But if they've done anything, again, we're not looking for, and we don't presume to think that the young people will have finished everything, completed everything. But in fact, what we do know is that there might be some variability. Again, if you guys are saying that you don't think there's going to be anything filled out in there, then that's fine too. But again, if you feel like people have been dabbling in it, we'll look at their dabbles. We'll look at what they've tried to complete and those kinds of things.
Sounds good.
So, well, but let me ask you, Charles. I mean, again, from what you're saying, do you feel like it wouldn't be very useful at all?
This is actually Ryan Logan. I'm sorry. Charles actually is off today, but I'll let Monique, who is actually running the group with Charles, kind of speak to this.
Hello.
Yeah. Hey, Monique.
Oh, hi. How are you?
Good.
To be honest, the boys and the youth in general don't really use the workbooks. Sometimes some of the activities in there, they may, go over the checklist and such, but for the most part, they're not. They're talking out things more than actually utilizing the workbook.
Right. Right. And do you think they're doing some of it?
Occasionally.
Whether it's checklist or?
They've done a few activities, but
okay.
A lot of them.
Okay. And again, we realize that as we said, we weren't urging folks to to put any obligation on the young people to do it. So, and again, we may go there and see that nothing's completed. And again, that's going to be helpful information for us. And then, like anything, because it's research and evaluation, what we do hope is that there's going to be some variability, and some kids might not. At some sites, they might do more than others, and at some sites, they might not. So, so we're kind of, our eyes are wide open in terms of what we might expect, and we're not, again, we know we're going to get a lot of variability. So again, similar, we can arrange a date to come out. Monique, just out of curiosity though, are you all keeping the workbooks?
Well, a lot of times they hand them in at the end of the groups.
Okay. So again, logistically, we can try to arrange for a date to come out and take a look at them. And again, it's not going to be anything in depth either. It's just going to be a simple checklist that we're going to complete, and sort of flip through the workbooks and see how much of it they've completed.
Okay.
So we'll work with your schedule and try to arrange a date to come out.
Okay.
Sounds good.
All right.
Thank you.
Great. So, and then as I said, so what we'll shoot for is to do that to coincide with the end of October when we'll get again, all the other stuff, the attendance, the discontinuation data. The other good thing about the workbook review, though, is when we go back, so when we look at this, we'll see the helpfulness scale. We'll see if they've completed the helpfulness scale, or had been completing. They may not be, that's fine, or the personal progress checklist. So in terms of those things, if we do the workbook review at the sites, we'll have that information already in there. So again, our timeline right now is October 30th. Look out for emails from us reminding you about trying to get us whatever data you can by the end of October. So we'll start bugging you around the middle of October for that. And then I'll just call each site, all of you individually, or email to try to begin to set up times to come out and do the workbook reviews.
Okay, Jim, that sounds good.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
And then just a couple of things. So we're in the home stretch now. In October, you see we'll have calls in October. As I said, I'll be reminding you about the workbook, about the data at that point. In November, we'll have our final call and see whether groups are ending. Pedersen, Craig, just an update. I mean, you guys must be getting close to ending.
Yeah, actually, next week is the last one.
Oh, okay. So, maybe we could try to talk a little bit about, are we going to be able to do the workbook review at all there then?
I don't see why not. I mean,
okay.
The kids, for the most part, have been leaving the books there. I mean, like we kind of talked about, there is limited interest, so I think one or two of them kind of keep their workbooks on them. They are a little bit more invested than the others, but for the most part, they all leave the workbooks here. So
Right, but you said the last group is going to be when?
The last group is on actually the 28th. It's going to be the following week is the last group.
Okay. Well, the reason why I say that is because I don't know, like, in terms of your intentions, at the end of the group, do you plan on just letting them take the workbooks with them after they're done with the entire program?
Even if we could do the workbooks with you and then give it to them after, because the boys are in our residence and the other youth are with waiver, and we're able to be in contact with them. So
okay, great.
It wouldn't be a problem.
Okay, great. Then but because you're ending, then what we'll try to do is schedule yours as early as possible, and see what we can do. Right now, we're literally in the process of putting together the checklist that we're going to use to do the workbook reviews. So hopefully we'll have something around the end of September and around the time that you're going to be ending, and then we'll try to schedule something as soon as possible.
Okay.
Sounds good.
So I'll send you all an email maybe to start thinking about dates when we can come out and do that.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, great. And then in December, again, based on whatever data we get and feedback, we'll have our final wrap-up webinar where we'll talk about the project as a whole and how things went. Again, we realize some sites may still actually be running groups at that time, and some sites may have ended. And who knows, maybe starting new groups. Pedersen, Craig, are you all intending to start a new group?
That is the intention, to start up again. I think right now we're kind of just trying to figure out who's going to be in that group. Since we have the CRs, there's not a ton of turnover in regards to, who hasn't been to KEY already. There are a few who kind of came on at the end of KEY, so I imagine they'll start up at the end. I know Charlie and myself, we were talking a little bit about how to move forward with some of the kids who have been through the entire KEY program and are actually really engaged in the KEY program still. We kind of talked about maybe letting them take the KEY group again as long as, the roster allows for it, and see if we can kind of maybe have them take a little bit more of a lead role and maybe also kind of teach a little bit since they've already been through the group.
That's a great idea.
That's an idea we were kind of tossing around a little bit for those kids who are still engaged yet have been through all of the lessons.
Right.
So we're still kind of trying to figure out composition of the group, but we have every intention to just keep it rolling. And then as we get, new kids into our programs, just kind of integrating them in.
That's great. And one other thing I'm curious about, though, is I know we haven't touched base in a while about just how the groups are going, but any information, any feedback, any stories you can tell about the groups that you've been doing since? I think the last time you'd gone through relationships, you were moving into health and mental health, and
as we've moved on, the topics, of course, have been more interesting to the youth, and they've been engaged in coming and speaking, and like I said, talking more, not necessarily using the workbooks, but talking about situations, wanting to share. So it's been going well.
Great. All right. Well, does anyone else have anything, questions, comments, anything else they want to add? Oh, great. Thank you. Oh, yeah.
We just wanted to point out Tuesday and Wednesday, October 12th and 13th, it's actually the 13th and the 14th, just for everyone.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just noticed that myself. Thank you for, so
that's the time that you have to register for.
Oh, okay, great.
Decide as a group which one you want to do.
It's Tuesday and Wednesday, right? Still, and not Monday.
No, yeah. Well, for October, we're skipping the Monday, because that Monday is Columbus Day. So we figure a lot of.
I just want to make sure that it's Tuesday and Wednesday, and that it's October 13th and 14th, not Monday. And okay, cool.
Yep. Thanks for that. Thanks for clarifying that. So Tuesday and Wednesday, the 13th and 14th.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Great.
All right, everyone. Well, thanks for joining, and we'll talk again in a few weeks. All right.
Okay. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.